Hello you guys and folks. Last time in the first tutorial I told you how to do the preparations to install Oberon, native Oberon operating system on an old Toshiba Satellite 4000 CD laptop. And as you remember, I told you that you first must have a start operating system, namely MS-DOS, which we need to put the installation files from your PC to the DOS system on the laptop to install them later properly. And after you made all those preparations, you're ready to start with the real Oberon install process. And that's what we're going to do now. And listen and watch carefully, because Oberon has some special things you have to obey. If you not do so, you will surely fail. So watch and listen very carefully what I'm doing and follow my steps and just trust me. Okay, so let's start. We take the previously made Oberon boot floppy, we insert it in our Toshiba laptop and we start the system. Now you can see Oberon is loading, and the system on the floppy disk is a very basic Oberon system. It just contains the main modules to run the Oberon system, and we will install this system on the hard disk drive, and then we will do a little bit of configuration works. And after that we will install the rest of the system, namely the gadget modules and the GUI stuff, to make it more comfortable to work with Oberon, to give it a style like you would expect it from Windows or from Linux. But for now we start with a very basic Oberon installation. Okay. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. As you can see, my screenshots here are really screenshots. I have to use my camera because there is no way to take screenshots in Oberon itself. So let me explain a little bit now. To get the basic work done, you have to know the rules how to operate Oberon. I told you need a 3-button mouse. This is a very essential tool you really need in Oberon. There are some ways to work without a 3-button mouse, namely a 2-button mouse, but then you have to apply additional keys like Shift or Control to emulate the 3rd button, so it's very much easier to use this 3-button mouse. And the basic rule, the only thing you have to know now, is the left button is always used for placing the caret, placing the mouse pointer. The middle mouse button is used for activating commands, and the right mouse button is used for highlighting or selecting text. So this is something you really have to remember. So the basic screen you see here is divided in mainly 2 parts, and these are called tracks in Oberon. On the right side you see the system track. This is a little bit smaller than the left one, and you can see here some kind of windows. These are called viewers in Oberon. One thing you always will see by starting Oberon system is the system log viewer. This is this small window here in the top right corner. And here automatically the system opened a second viewer with the install tools. And here on the left side you see a track that's a little bit wider. This is a user track. When you open files for yourself you want to operate with or want to edit, these normally are open on the left side. There's also a little trick. When you want to decide for yourself where your viewer will be opened, you can use this pointer and go to the position where you want the viewer to be and press the function key F1. And then you can see a small star marker. This star marker is indicating the position where the viewer will be opened when you activate it. Okay, this is a very basic introduction. The first thing you have to do is we have to load appropriate driver for the hard disk. You can see here a small list of config disk. That's some kind of tool in Oberon, config disk, and with different parameters. And we take this one here, config disk standard ATA EIDE driver. Click on it with the middle mouse button, and you see here in the system log the driver was loaded. That's okay. So this was the first step to perform. The second step is we will open the system partitions tool. So we type system.open space partitions.tool. These dot notation is something that corresponds with the Oberon system itself, because Oberon is made out of modules. So system is the name of a module and open is the name of a function inside the module named system. And partitions tool is the tool that has to be opened. Now we click on it with the middle mouse button, and you can see here the partition tool is opening. And here you can see all the partition commands we are able to apply. At first we click on partitions show with the middle mouse button. Okay, now another view has opened here in the lower left corner of our screen, and you can see the system found a hard disk drive named ID0, and we have one partition here. This is IDE 1, this is our DOS partition, and the rest is free. IDE 2 is not allocated yet. Okay, so now we want to create an Oberon partition, and to do this we go here to the system log, we place the caret by pressing the left mouse button, and we enter partitions dot, and here in the list you can see we have a command that's named create, partitions create. So we type create partitions.create a space, and then we enter the IDE partition we want to create. This is IDE 0 hash 02, and the second parameter we have to apply the size we want the partition to be, and I decided to make it 200 megabytes. You may find a minor problem when you're entering those commands here. This is because as a default the system loads with the US keyboard driver. When you're living in Germany and you're like me and you're trying to install Oberon on a laptop with the German keywords layout, you will get in run into some problems. Because the key might not be on the position where you expect it to be. Some keys are interchanged, and you have to find for yourself where the right key is. On a German keyboard, the hash sign is applied when you press Shift 3. Shift 3 applies the hash sign here. Okay, I hope now I entered everything in the correct way. And I click with the middle mouse button, and okay, partition created. That's fine. The next thing is we have to format the partition. And so we enter partitions format. And then we have to enter IDE 0 #02. Let me see if this is correct. This should be okay. Now I click on it with the middle mouse button. Okay. Did not work. This is because I previously already made a partition for Oberon named IDE02, and this may be a problem now. Okay, now it worked. As I said, it was a problem because I previously have done all the installation to test it before I made this video, and somehow this partition 2 got confused because I already made an Oberon partition named IDE02, and despite the fact I deleted it, it seems to be that the system somehow ran into some trouble. But this will be no problem for you because when you start from scratch you have no previously made and deleted Oberon partition, so for you it should work very well. Okay, now it's working and we have a formatted Oberon partition. So now we go down here to chapter 2 in this install tool viewer, and we click on it with our middle mouse button. Before we do this, we go here over there and we click with the middle mouse button on System Close. That frees our user track, so we have enough space. Okay, the next thing is we have to mount the file system, the Oberon file system. We will do this by typing file system. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, placing the caret before is better. File system dot mount, and we type DST. This is an alias for destination. Then comes AOSFS. This is an abbreviation for the Oberon file system. And then we have to enter the partition number IDE 0 #0. Oh, it was a typo. 02. Okay, let me see if this is correct. File system mount, yes, should work. Okay, now it's mounted. Okay, now we go down and to the chapter 2 in the install tool viewer, and we click on it with the middle mouse button. And we see here some commands we can use to perform the installation. The first part here is not very important for us. We will concentrate here on chapter 4. Let me say something about navigation inside documents you open in viewer and you probably want to edit them. You need to scroll. Scrolling is somehow different here in Oberon as in other operating systems like Windows or Linux, where you have a scroll bar and you can put your mouse pointer on it and drag it up and down. It's a little bit different here. When you want to scroll down, you have to place the mouse pointer here in the scroll bar area, the small area here on the left side. And when you click on the left mouse button, you can see the text is going down. It's scrolling down, and when you place the click the right mouse button, the text is scrolling up. So This is very simple. You have something you have to accommodate with. Okay, now everything is mounted, and I think it should do, if we just click on configuration, do commands. This is something like a script file. When we click on here, all those commands listed here in the scripts are executed. And normally this should put all the installation files from the boot disk on our hard disk drive. Okay. Let's see if it works. It's looking good for the moment. Okay, now you can see all those modules here being extracted and transferred to our new freshly made Oberon file system on our hard disk. You can see all those fonts and keyboard layouts are transferred currently. Color specifications and a lot of documentation and tools. We also have some network drivers, modem drivers, FTP tools, math tools, again some fonts. Zip tools. Okay, looks like we're done. Now we can close the viewer here, install files, by clicking on System Close with the middle mouse button, and it's closed now. And now we go down here to Edit Open Configuration Tools. Click on it with the middle mouse button. Now we have to apply a suitable display driver. And I did really some work on this because most of those drivers don't work very well. One that works for our system is the Visa 2.0 driver. When you click on this config display Visa 2.0, you can see a lot of sub-drivers here. And one that works for this system here is the Visa 2.0 800 by 600 by 8 driver. So we click on it and the driver is loaded. But it's not currently loaded, it's only loaded when you restart the system. Okay, now we go to the scroll area, click with the left mouse button, we go down, 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 down. And here you can see some further links we can click on. Click on config boot partition menu. Okay, now this configuration containing the display driver is written to the boot section of partition 2. And now we have to apply again partition show. and we have to activate our new partition. And we'll make it somehow different than we did working with the commands previously. We will first highlight or select this text here, IDE 0 #2, with the right mouse button. Click and hold the right mouse button and drag the mouse over this text so that IDE 0 #02 is selected. Now release the right mouse button and go on top here on Partitions Activate and just click on it with the middle mouse button. And I hope this will work. Okay, you see, it's activated. So the command partition activate took its parameter from the selected text. Now we have to deactivate the DOS partition so we are able to boot directly into Oberon when we restart the system. So we highlight the same way IDE 0 #01 and we click on Partitions Deactivate with the middle mouse button. And now it's deactivated. Okay. And I think now we are done. Okay, we take out our boot floppy and we click on System Reboot. And let's see if it works. Success. Thumbs up, guys. So, that's all for now. In the next tutorial I'm going to explain to you the basic operation procedures on Oberon. I will tell you something more how to operate with a 3-button mouse, with the mouse pointer, with the star marker, and we will do some configuration works like applying appropriate keyboard driver and stuff like that. But all this will be part for the next tutorial. So bye for now and thanks for watching.